Another week of Flash and Arrow. So let's talk about this awesome episode of The Flash. The Flash, Season 1, Episode 12, Crazy for You. So this was a really fun episode. Now, whenever I ask friends, what kind of superpower would you have? My answer is always the power to teleport. If you've seen the first 10 minutes of X-Men 2, you would know why. Teleporting is awesome. Or from the Jumper movie, going to teleport, eat a sandwich off the pyramids. That would just be awesome. This girl, she has her limits. She can only teleport from as far as she can see. I like the comparisons between her, Barry, and Caitlin. So it's called Crazy for You. And she has this boyfriend. She breaks out of jail. In the episode, you see Barry. He's trying to keep being friends with Iris, but really he's more than friends. He's still that Ron Weasley character. Well, him and Caitlin, they decided to go out. They tried to scope out the bars where the criminals are hanging out. Also, you saw a little reference to Glee. I just found out that the guy who plays the Flash was in Glee. I never really seen that show. He could definitely sing, so that was kind of cool to see. It was kind of, I guess, a reference to that. Also, we had some other good storylines this episode. You have a little more information about the Firestorm. At the end of last episode, the sound guy, I think he's called Piper, whatever the villain name is. At the end of the episode, he tells Cisco that I know where Ronnie is and I can save him. Caitlin's telling him I'm over him. He doesn't want me around. And we know why. Because Firestorm is not just one person. He's Professor Stein and Robert Amell, or Ronnie. I kind of knew that, but it's kind of cool to see it on screen now. These two people, no wonder he was acting all crazy at the mid-season finale. So there was a cool reference to like World War II. In World War II, whenever the nuclear bombs went off, all was left of people were shadows, and you saw the shadow of Dr. Stein. So that was pretty cool. Then I gotta talk about the greatest part of the episode. These two guys, they're walking to a basement or down in the sewer somewhere, and you see something writing on the wall, and I was like, what is this? Because I was expecting something to see with Reverse Flash, something about Ronnie, but I did not expect this cliffhanger. That's right, Grodd. Yes, Gorilla Grodd. He's a gorilla, and he has psychic powers, so it makes him awesome. He's considered one of Flash's best enemies, and one of the best enemies in the Justice League TV show. Gorilla Grodd showed up in Justice League Unlimited or Justice League. They were some of my favorite episodes. We get something like Caesar from Planet of the Apes mixed in with psychic powers from like X-Men. That sounds freaking awesome. Done correctly. I don't know if Grodd is going to be a villain this season because we are a few episodes. We only have about, I think, maybe 10 episodes left. If Grodd shows up now as a villain, it would take focus away from the Reverse Flash. So I think we should hold him off, put him into Season 2, kind of like what they did with Deathstroke in Season 2. Because whenever Season 1 of Arrow, you saw Slade Wilson, but he wasn't Deathstroke. In Season 2, he was Deathstroke. That's what I kind of hope they do. But great episode, great villain. I like the powers. Gorilla Grodd, awesome. Help further the plot of Firestorm. Really cool episode. And we also meet, I guess, probably Barry's first girlfriend. I'm going to give The Flash Season 1, Episode 12, Crazy for You, a 4.5 out of 5. This was an awesome episode. Cliffhanger made it even better. Arrow, Season 3, Episode 12, Uprising. Alright, so this is the end of the Lore Apocalypse trilogy of episodes. Thank God. Really, this wasn't a bad episode. This was actually a really good episode. This episode, we explore more Malcolm Merlyn's character. Malcolm Merlyn is my favorite villain we've seen from Arrow. My favorite villains are the villains who think they're the heroes. And the villains that think they're the heroes usually go through something really tragic. Merlyn, his wife gets killed, and he goes down a dark path. It's pretty incredible. This could happen to, like, if Bruce Wayne decided, I want to become Malcolm Merlyn, I want to destroy Gotham City to try to make it better, he would have justice for that because he went through a great trauma. It's just the opposite. That's just to show character, because when loss hits you, you just don't know what to do, and that's what happens to Malcolm's character. My favorite scenes from Malcolm Merlin, the entire Arrow show, is that finale of season 1 when he's like, "Yes, they deserve to die." You're like, oh, this was a really good episode because you have Brick, who apparently his first kill was Malcolm Merlin's wife. That's pretty credible. Flashback show after his wife is killed and after he killed his first person, and him at one of the last scenes of the episodes when he goes to the League of Assassins. You see a Nisa Al Ghul character who's still a kid. He does a coin trick behind her ear, and she comes up with his nickname, the Magician, pretty much. That's pretty cool. Episode also brought some recurring characters back. It brought back Wildcat, which finally got to see him hood up or mask up. I didn't really like the costume that much. Also got Sid, Sarah's little lackey from season 2, and I'm kind of glad they brought her back. She tells Captain Lance that that's not Sarah, and now Captain Lance will finally figure out that Sarah is dead. Also, Oliver finally returns to the Starling City, and the only way for Oliver to defeat Ra's al Ghul is if you're trained by a student of Ra's al Ghul, which I kind of like. It's a classic. The student has to surpass the master, and the student can only defeat the master if he's taught the ways of the master. Which means we're gonna get some badass training between Oliver and Merlin, which is awesome. We'll get to see a cool team up between Oliver and probably Merlin fighting Ra's al Ghul, probably at the end of the season. In the end, good episode. I'm glad they focused on Merlin. I'm glad Oliver's finally back in Starling City. I'm curious what they're going to do the rest of the season. It wasn't that bad as Black Canary this episode. I mean, you didn't really see her as much because it was more focused on Merlin, which is good. Maybe they learned their mistakes from the last episode. I give Arrow, Season 3, Episode 12, Uprising, a 4.2 out of 5. It was a good episode. I'm glad it focused on Merlin because he's an awesome character. And I look forward to see what next. Of course, next week's episode is called Canaries. So, yay. Have you seen Arrow and Flash this week? And what are your thoughts? Comment below, let me know. And if you like this video, click that thumbs up button. Subscribe, see more. Too easy.